Good morning. Thank you, Ron. It's great to be here and among this distinguished panel and coming back to this important event, talking about, I think, a topic that is one of the key objectives of the East Mediterranean Gas Forum. How can we create more resilient partnerships in our region, the Eastern Mediterranean? So in the Eastern Mediterranean, there are a lot of alliances. One of them is the 3+1, the trilateral summit between Egypt, Greece, Cyprus. And also a broader one, but focusing more on energy, is the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum. And I believe it is quite important to have close collaboration and coordination between these partnerships and alliances so that we can make sure that no one is left behind, and also we have more resilient partnerships and projects. So last year, I was talking about the EMGF, its objectives, its long-term strategy, and how it is a successful example of bringing stakeholders together for energy security and more integration in a region that is very geopolitically, let's say, sensitive. So today, I'm happy to share some concrete examples of agreements and projects that, in spite of the geopolitical turmoil, especially after October 7th, we were able to do few things on the ground. As you know, the Eastern Mediterranean is rich with energy resources, but for these resources to have any value, it has to be brought on surface. It has to be monetized. And how can these resources and this value shared between the different stakeholders? And I think one of the things that we have been working on is leveraging on the convening power of the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum, bringing together the governments, the private sector, the technology companies, and the investors. And one of the great examples that happened recently is the energy agreements between Egypt and Cyprus. These agreements were signed in last February, and they are win-win to all stakeholders. They are definitely beneficial to Cyprus because it will allow Cyprus to monetize the gas resources that has been discovered for some time. It will generate significant revenues. It will also encourage investments to discover more gas resources. It is significant for Egypt because it will provide gas resources, some of it for the domestic market. It will allow Egypt to utilize underutilized significant infrastructure. Again, it will generate significant revenues for the government. For the potential markets, mainly Europe, it will provide a significant source of not just energy security, but also of energy diversification. And I think Greece is going to play a significant role in this regard. Talking about the infrastructure of the FSRUs, the vertical corridor, the different interconnectors between Greece and Southeastern Europe, this is going to be also important to the neighboring countries. And also these agreements are important to the companies. The companies will be able to achieve returns on their investments that has been there for some time. And we're not talking about one or two companies. In the Eastern Mediterranean, there are several European and American companies operating there. I'm not talking only about oil and gas producers, giant producers like ExxonMobil and Chevron, but we're talking about EPC contractors, about technology companies, about service providers. So it's a huge, not just projects, but it's bringing all the stakeholders and adding value to each of these people. And this recent agreements and project is adding to what already has been a success. Gas continues to flow from Israel to Egypt, some of it through Jordan, and it's beneficial to the companies and also to these governments as well. The question here is, can these projects be replicated? And I think the simple answer is yes. And I think we need to do our best to replicate this within our region. If we really want to include everyone, if we really want to have resilient partnerships in such a geopolitically sensitive region, we need to think, how can we include more governments? How can we include more countries, especially Palestine, Jordan, and have meaningful projects between Israel and the Arabs? And not just that, I think we need to leverage on the US approach. And President Trump, in his first, I think one of the first statements in his second term is that he's a man of peace. And he's trying to bring peace to the world and also to our region. And I think we need to, one of the things that can uphold stability and peace is to have more integration. And I think energy can play a significant role in this regard. And I think the Eastern Mediterranean, what we can achieve is not just integration within the Eastern Mediterranean, but the Eastern Mediterranean can play a central hub connecting Europe, but also connecting Europe to the Middle East and the Gulf. I think if we can manage to add more projects like this, we'll be able to have more resilient projects. Thank you.